So today we're back to doing some investigating work. I am testing my most expensive watercolor set against my cheapest watercolor set and seeing how they do. Will we see big differences or will they perform pretty much the same? In which case there is no point in buying expensive watercolors and it's all just a big marketing plot to get our money. That's what we're going to find out. So let's start by presenting our competitors. On one side we have my favorite Schminke watercolor set. Remember this one? It was a birthday gift and I am absolutely in love with it. 18 colors. Now I don't know exactly how much it cost because it was a gift, but I'll say around 70 euros or so. On the other side there's this little kit right here. No brand whatsoever. I bought it from a local supermarket for, I think it was like 7 euros, something like that. Same number of colors, even comes with a brush pen. Real handy. So they just open up like this and you're good to go. So I guess the best way to start would be to swatch these really quick and maybe try and find an equivalent from the Schminke, because I'm not going to be swatching the Schminke. I have done that on 2 videos. You can watch after this one, okay? I'll just add the links in the description. And I have those swatches right here, remember? From when I compared them with the AliExpress version. Now I'm thinking that if I can find like 3 or 4 very similar colors, we can test those colors and compare. Makes sense, right? Okay, so let's swatch these out real quickly, you know, with our black line, because that's like the #1 test for watercolor quality. To test if the colors are transparent or if they're filled with cheap fillers that make them opaque. Now, I know what my bet would be considering the price of these, but hey, we just may be pleasantly surprised. We have no color names or any information. All we have is these numbers and these letters. Well, the letter is C on all of them, so the numbers. We just have these numbers right here, so they don't really tell us much, but let's see how it goes. And we'll be using the same brush and the same paper for these tests, okay? We really just want to compare paints, nothing else. So let's get a brush, get it wet, and let's get started. So, yellow. Should I do the white? Yeah, let's do the white too. It's one of the 18 colors, so we might as well. Well, for starters, these are very easily activated, I have to say. And the yellow is pretty vibrant. That white will probably be a little bit opaque. Now, these watercolors are actually pretty special to me because they were my first set ever. Okay, so last Christmas, my very best, very creative, very craft-oriented friend gave me what I could best describe as a, I don't even know what to call it, honestly. It was this box filled to the brim with crafty stuff. And we are talking paper supplies of all sorts. We are talking stamping supplies. You know, I don't even know what half of it was called. And one of the things that were on there were brush pens. Okay, let's move on to the second one. Ooh, this is pretty. Really vibrant. Now, I had no idea what brush pens were because my painting experience was basically with acrylic when I was a teenager and I didn't really paint all that much. And yeah, I'm sure I did watercolor at school, but you know, I don't really remember any of that. So no idea, and I don't think brush pens were a thing at the time. So once I found out what it was, I was very excited with the idea of putting them to good use, of course. But I had absolutely no supplies. I went to the supermarket and I got some really cheap Canson paper and this little kit that actually came with another brush pen. So now I have 3 brush pens actually. Uh-oh. What is it, Mushy? No, 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 Mushy, Mushy, Mushy. And you know, buying expensive supplies when I didn't even know if I'd like it or not didn't really make sense. And for the technique I had, which was absolutely none, I think it was actually the right decision. Ooh, violet, purple, whatever. I think there's 2 according to this little scheme right here. Ooh. Guys, you know what? This line is still pretty visible. I'm impressed. But I am hoping I can still use them, for sketches and stuff like that, depending on how they perform right now, because honestly, I just don't remember anymore. I remember they lifted a lot, when I wanted to add a new layer with the first layer already dry. As soon as I touched it, it would lift like crazy. Well, melt is more like it, like it reactivated the paint and mixed with the new layer, and it was a bit of a mess. Also, I remember it didn't have that transparency you would expect from watercolors, which is totally normal in cheap watercolor paints like these. Very much opaque, filled with chip fillers, etc. But hey, that's not what I'm seeing right now. That line is pretty visible, and I am very impressed. And the colors are really vibrant, so yay! I did not expect these lines to be as visible as they are right now, so very happy with that. And I apologize for the noise. This is a very noisy building, I'm afraid. So yeah, we will be hearing lots of doors opening and closing, and I apologize for that, but these walls are like paper thin. It really is kind of annoying. Okay, almost there. We are with our blues. Oh, who would have known that this would actually be lighter than that one? Oh, so cute, so vibrant. I am loving these, I have to say. Almost there. A little darker blue. I think this was supposed to be olive green. Kind of looks like yellow ochre. Oh no, this is yellow ochre. Okay. It is a nice spread though, 18 colors. That's pretty cool. Because I knew I bought a bigger set. Well, probably was just what was available, but also, I knew that, mixing colors would be really overwhelming for me as I started. So I just thought I'd save myself the trouble. Guys, would you look at this? Oh, this is so cool. They are totally transparent. Okay, I do not remember them being this good. I am very impressed so far. Okay, now let's pick our colors, and I've got my Schminke chart right here. This is my Schminke chart right here. Now I'm guessing the primary colors are a must, right? So a yellow, a red, and a blue. I don't have this one. I only have this one and this one, which aren't really very similar. Well, I'll have to go with this one. It's the only one I have. So yellow, a red. Well, the pink is actually, yeah. Blues. This, I think this one. And primary colors, in case you don't know, are essentially colors you can't get out of mixing other colors, They're just born this way, I guess. They are the original pigment. I think I want to add a green. Maybe this one. Yeah, maybe this one. And I guess that's it. So these are our colors. And our first test is actually a value scale, if you will. So we will start with a lot of pigment on our brush, and then we'll add more and more water and see how light we can go for all our 4 colors here and our 4 colors here. So let's do this. We will start with this. I'll call it the white brand because I have no idea which brand it is. And let's start with our yellow. Now for our Schminke, so here are our values. Let's wait for them to dry. They always look different when they dry, of course, usually a little bit lighter, but the colors are clearly not the same, but we already knew that. So yeah, I think I used the wrong blue here. Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay, our next test is a little bit of a color mixing. So the idea here is we pick pairs. Let's say, red and yellow, blue and green, and we'll just place each color on opposite sides of the paper. Then gradually, we will add more of one color and less of the other until we reach the other side. So what we want here is to see how well we can mix these colors without muddying them, or how good they will look once they're mixed. So we will just start with pure red right here. Okay, so this one didn't work very well, but we'll just have to try it a little bit better next time. So our second mix, let's do it to schminke now. So red. Now remember, this yellow is much weaker than this one, okay? So naturally these colors would be much stronger than these, but transparency-wise and scale-wise, I think these are a little bit more subtle. These are really in your face, but vibrant is good. Okay, so for our second pair, let's see if I can get my blue right this time. I think this was the one. Okay, still back in this one. The red was so strong, I had to start a new one with the yellow as a base, because this would not go past orange, dark orange, because the red is so strong. So I had to start the yellow and put a little bit of red to get this one, or we would be here forever. And this one, I didn't need that. I just went all the way and it was really, really nice. Yeah, so overall there's a subtlety in this one that we just don't find in this one. It just jumps. Although here I could have used a little bit less green, and these two are pretty much the same. You can see the colors changing, whereas here it just jumps. Okay, so moving on, our next test is wet on wet, and we want to see how both brands bloom and how they bleed into each other. And for that, we'll just make a couple of circles, with different values. It will look extra cute. Which we already have right here, and we just start making some circles. Some nice little circles. Okay, I think I'm done with this palette. Let me try the schminkers. I think... Oh no, this isn't the right one. I think we'll love this one. I hope. Ah, that's lovely. Much more soothing. Yeah. Here is our result. As you can see, there are a couple of bleeds here, but not so much here. Again, it's that lack of subtlety, because here we have, look at that. I mean, look at this. You have these wonderful, really wonderful blends that just work. They are just so beautiful. So this is the Schminke, this is the other brand, and you know, we clearly know who the winner is here, right? Moving on. Now for our next test, we are doing a little bit of layering and probably a little lifting, if I remember correctly how this set works. So we're just going to paint one petal at a time, wait for it to dry, go back, add another and another until we're happy with our result. We will see how transparent the paints are and how they perform when you add a new layer on top of them. Best case scenario, they do wonderful layering. Worst case scenario, they melt and it's a big muddy mess. And then we have this yellow. Okay guys, and here are our flowers. You can definitely see I started losing my patience to wait for it to dry after a while. So the lower colors are definitely a bit darker, and I think it's because they mixed. Here they clearly blended. If you compare this one to this one, you'll see that the yellow just went all over the place, but it did here a little bit too. But I think that here it was actually because the blue wasn't as dry. But as you can see, these colors remain much more faithful to their original color than here, when they are all over the place and they kind of started melting into each other and you have these really dark colors. So yeah, still I have to say these ones did much better than I expected. You know, from what I remembered, they did pretty worse when I was starting out, but then again, hey, I was starting out, so I probably did all sorts of mistakes. So yeah, this is what we've got. Okay guys, I guess there's only one thing left for us to do, the ultimate test. Let's paint something. Now I'm obsessed with hot air balloons and I think we'll be able to paint something really cute. So I've sketched two really simple hot air balloons and now we're just going to work our magic with both watercolor sets and let's see what we get. Yeah guys, I definitely feel like we need to mix this up a little bit, literally. So I am taking this blue and adding a little bit of black to make it darker. Ooh, look at that, night sky already. And I'm doing the exact same with this blue. I'll have to watch out, make sure I don't mix the two up. And this black right here. Yeah, that is so much better. Okay guys, final layer I think. Definitely have added more black than we did. I think I'm gonna go back and do that right now because this isn't nearly enough for the night sky we're looking for. Yeah, that's much better. So much better. Definitely. Night is falling, guys. It's definitely falling. You can even add a little bit of green like we did, you know, with the postcard we did the other day. You remember the moon postcard? A little bit of green would look nice too. Because, you know, that's much more what I had in mind for this one. Okay, and now we dab again. That's much better. That's much better. And more. Okay, I think there's only one thing left to do for our little balloons, which is to add a few stars. Yes, I am addicted to this. I have done plenty of this. Maybe we can cover this one up. Okay, now for this one. Our tests are complete. Are they very similar? Can you tell which is which? I can definitely tell which is which. This is our Schminke this is our no brand. And yes, I am very surprised at the vibrancy. I'm very surprised at how well they perform, you know, with the black line and all. And I think they're pretty good, but they lack subtlety. You know, they lack the subtlety of watercolors for me, as far as I'm concerned. They look like, I would say they look like gouache. You know, they actually remind me of the Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints, which are much less subtle than usual watercolor, because here you have it, you know, you look at this and you can see they're still pretty vibrant, but they're just subtler, you know, the way they blend into each other. So yeah, I guess the bottom line is you can do watercolors without costing a lot of money. And you know, if you're just starting, or if you're not starting because you're thinking of the money you will spend, just do it. Just do it. Just fall in love with it, you know? As you can see, €7 is all you need for 18 paints. And these paints, you know, considering it's watercolors, they will last a very long time. Yeah, they're all... the white went everywhere. I think it went on my face, actually. You know, it's worth it. It really is worth it. Yes, there are very crappy watercolor paints out there. You know, there are paints that you paint over a black line and the black line disappears. This clearly isn't it. This is a good paint. It's not an excellent paint, it is not a professional paint, but it is pretty good when you're starting out. These paints were the ones who actually made me fall in love with watercolors, and I haven't regretted it yet. So please, please don't stop yourself from starting something you want just because you think it will be too expensive. It clearly isn't, okay? And as for these, you know, this one looks better, but if I only had this one, I would be pretty happy. So, you know, just something to think about. Thank you for doing this with me. I hope you had a good time. I know I had a blast, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye bye.